But I mean, I was beyond here.
Oh, the same thing happened to me with a yellow T-shirt. I used to have a yellow T-shirt I used to put on my head when I was a kid, off to one side, because I always wanted to be Lana Turner. And my father
I always wanted to be Liz.
Running off as Lana Turner. So my father always thought it was okay. He said, oh, don't worry, he'll grow out of it. My mother was one who was all freaked out.
Wow.
But
I can't believe that
But what about you? I mean, you know, did you do anything when you were a kid? Did your parents really...
Yeah, I used to melt candles in the bathroom sink, which used to get him very irritated, and I didn't close the garage door, which got my old man very upset when he had his car in there.
Well, I mean, I went through all those things with my cousins where I'll show you mine if you show me yours. I mean, we did all that, too, you know.
What is that? Tell me what that is.
My cousin Darth.
Let's get into Link's. Let's get into Link's secret past. Come on.
Oh.
What did you?
Well, I had one of those mothers, you know, thank God. Rita, she named me after 2 movie stars. First of all, Ronald Colman, Bruce Cabot. I didn't have a fair chance and took me to the movies 3 times a week. That's a lot of what we have in common, too. We've seen a lot of the same, you know,
we all grew up with those
same
movies.
research. A lot of that movie,
Same
you
women.
know, and recreate that.
Except for Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin was always my favorite.
And Mary Pickford.
You know, you direct this stuff, all right?
Right.
And produce it and kind of make it all happen. Do you ever want to do what they do?
I've thought about that. No, I would hate to do what they do because they work real hard, and I wouldn't want to be up there 8 times a week anyway.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about...
You want me getting heels in a dress?
Yeah, dress up.
No. I remember getting caught in my mother's high heels and having to explain that. That happened to me probably at one time in my life. Probably. It did. You know, I've always been fascinated with... I still want to know why men, all men, are attracted to... What are women doing in high heels anyway?
Beats the hell out of me.
They're all but you're attracted to it, aren't you?
I don't want to do it.
No, but I mean, don't you love looking at a pair of legs and a nice pair of heels and...
Absolutely. Except I can't quite figure it out, especially on the streets of New York where they have the gratings, you know, for the subways. And if you're walking behind a woman, and, you know, we go right over the grate. But if they have the heels on, they can't because the heel goes into the grate and they would fall down and they look ridiculous.
That's why they need those rubber things like they used to wear in Atlantic City when I was little. They put them on the heel, they're about to spin around. So you didn't get through the boardwalk.
And I mean, there's a woman that works on the staff here who just started wearing high heels recently. I mean, she's falling up and down. You know, she walks funny. She's almost breaking her feet. Well, why
There's a lot of women who just started wearing high heels.
Why do they do that? But I'm still fascinated by the fact that you live with a woman. Of course, you don't. You see, we had this guy on the show who wants to wear a dress. Remember that guy that was in the news? I can't recall his name offhand.
Ooh.
But the guy wants to wear a dress because it's more comfortable, okay? And he went to apply for jobs, and because he's wearing a dress, they won't hire the guy because of that little taboo that goes on. And he said that he lived with a girl, and I said, well, don't you have arguments about who's going to wear the black chiffon at night? And he said, yeah, you're damn right we have arguments. You know, let's face it, there is competition between all people in all kinds of ways.
Well, I mean, there are things we don't talk about. I mean, there are certain husbands who get off on wearing their wives.
Exactly. And that's why it's a little odd for me to sit and talk with 2 guys who get dressed up like girls that really don't get any sexual gratification.
Right, they're entertainers.
They do it for a job, and they do it for the money involved, and they do it because they're entertainers.
Right.
Or they don't consider themselves to be transvestites. Because once again, society pegs people, as we must peg and pigeonhole. We say, okay, any member of one gender who wears the clothing of another gender must be a transvestite. That's the end of that. Yeah.
Because they really don't know the true meanings of the words, you know.
But don't you think I don't know your feelings
It's really
about
confusing.
It. It's like,
I mean,
it is a talent, though, Holly. I mean, it's like a talent that you guys have survived the 60s, the 70s, you know, and here you are, you know, and we're not condoning that anyone go out and dress in drag. I mean, really, I'm not, you know, because there's certain people like Milton Berle, Cary Grant, all these guys that got up in drag at one point
Jack
in
Lemmon,
their
Tony Curtis.
Right. There's an incredible side of everyone's personality that is probably feminine and very funny. It just happens that I disagree with you. I think you're both much funnier as women than you are as guys.
No, well,
as a matter of fact, I find both of you a little dreary out of drag. You know, once in a, you know.
No, but the drag allows it's like a mask to hide behind, which does allow me, like he's saying, it's true. I'm more at ease in front of a group of people with that paint on and with all of that on, because it does allow me.
You can hide.
You can hide behind it, and you can let all those things inside come out that normally you wouldn't.
And you can also hide behind the name Divine. You probably wouldn't want to say your real name, though.
Well, Glen, but I haven't been called that for. I mean, my mother calls me Divine.
The name of the show is The Neon Woman. It's now playing in Provincetown, Massachusetts. Its director is Mr. Ron Link. Its 2 stars are Divine and Holly Woodlawn. Thank you all for being with us tonight. I appreciate you taking the time to come and see us. We will continue after these words from our sponsors. Yeah, it's all over. It goes very fast here, you know. I thought this was a good night, but it's actually a stick around for about 4 more minutes.
Rid of us, don't you?
No, not at all. Hey, I could sit here for hours and swap yarns with you guys, or girls, or fellas, or whatever. I mean, what the heck? We were talking in the break. We really haven't talked about what you do in this show, what your parts are, and how you work.
Well, I play Flash Storm, who is a retired stripper in Baltimore. I think she's more or less a takeoff on Blaze Starr, who was Louis Long's girlfriend, or whatever, the governor, Louis Long. And she has... Huey Long, yeah. And so she has a DA...
Could have been Louis.
Louis, Huey.
Could have been Dewey.
Dewey, whatever.
Probably was Louis.
Huey, Dewey, Lee, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But,
I think he's deceased now anyway, so he won't be bothered by it. Anyway, so it's Blaze Starr, who was with Governor Long.
Yeah, well, this is a takeoff on her, and she's a retired stripper. And it takes place backstage in the girls' dressing room and in Flash Storm's office. And it has many, many subplots. I mean, she has a daughter that comes from Paris, that she keeps her daughter in school in Paris, and her daughter thinks that she's a society woman. She only sees her once a year, but leaves school because one of her teachers tries to make improper advances towards her, and comes home and finds her mother in the clutches of this black man that works in the club. And so she's shocked immediately, and the mother can't
What does this thing last, 5 days? And we got it up for 5 days already.
An hour and 20 minutes.
An hour and 20 minutes, but many, many things. It's very fast-moving. I mean, yet people have said they've seen it 6 and 7 times and still can laugh.
And what is your part? If he's Blaze Starr, you are...
No, he's Flash Storm.
Flash Storm,
I play Kitty LaRue, who's her, flunky, floozy flunky?
Sidekick, yeah.
Sidekick. Who, at the beginning of the play, I'm a stripper, one of the strippers, and I also rat on the girls, you know, tell her whenever there's anything going on.
She's always confessing her lesbianism, and
yeah, and then
at the
in
end
the middle
of
of the show,
Hold it. We got Flash Storm, okay?
Right.
And we got the black guy who's with her mother, okay?
And
we got the daughter involved somewhere, okay? And now you come in and you're a lesbian.
Yeah. No, I'm not a lesbian at the beginning of the play. In the middle of the play, I admit to being a lesbian. Then I admit to being a drag queen at the end of it.
Which at one point you say is the sickest thing I have ever heard.
She says I'm a drag queen. I said, that's the sickest thing I've ever heard. You know I hate drag queens.
Nazis and network television.
And it all ends and they all live happily ever after, huh?
No, we all die.
Well, I kill everybody.
Oh, you do? Oh.
And then the DA kills me.
Sounds like a real upper so far. And, it's a comedy, right?
It is.
Joyce, this one's always screaming out,
I would
trash
say, yeah.
must be stopped before it becomes big-time garbage.
How big an audience is there for this kind of thing?
It's big.
Very big. The houses have been packed every night.
How many do you see?
Number-wise?
250 a night.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean...
Provincetown, that's very big.
Not too shabby. Could you bring it into New York? I mean, are you going to bring it in?
We did it at Hurrah, the disco here. And we played for 6 months. And then we went to San Francisco, then we went to Toronto, now we're in Provincetown, and we're going to go on to Paris and to where else? Los Angeles.
What if you took it out to Ames, Iowa? How do you think it'd play there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It might work.
I think it could work, but I wouldn't say
Topeka,
yes.
Kansas, or Wichita Falls, Texas.
Well, we get all those people.
Sure.
I mean, all those people
Yeah, you get them.
Why not?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Anyway, it remains to be seen.
Yeah.
It's now playing in Provincetown, and I'm really right this time. We are leaving now. Thanks, Ron Link, for being here, and thank you. You're both good sports gentlemen, and much success to you in Provincetown and Paris and wherever you go. Divine and Holly Woodlawn. We'll be right back after this for the NBC television stations. Take it away.